So, who is Spyfish? A lot of you might be wondering who the guy behind the voice is, what he does for a living, and all that good stuff. In this episode, we're going to talk about exactly that. So grab your drink, and I'll see you after the intro. Yo, I play Ekko, a lot. Ladies and gents, welcome back to episode 3 of Yap Time, the series where we tackle different topics every week, quote unquote every week, and just yap about them. There will be League of Legends gameplay featuring Ekko in the background, so feel free to watch it or just get busy with something else. This video is not highly edited, so you can simply listen to the Yap session. So my name is Spyfish. I've been active on social media over the past year, mostly known for my Ekko gameplay. I obviously one-trick Ekko and create content about him. From videos that help those who are new to the champion to other content made purely for fun. Just a quick note about the educational stuff I post. These videos are highly recommended for those who want to learn the game at the highest levels. Because I only post content that has been reviewed by Challenger Ekko one-tricks, so there is nothing in those videos that is misleading or incorrect. And I take full responsibility for everything I say in those videos. Anyway, enough talking about the channel, let's talk more about me. Spyfish in real life is humble, hardworking, and nice guy. I've always wanted to be creative, especially in my field. At first, I studied software engineering, only to realize that I didn't like it at all. So I switched to audiovisual arts and cinema. Because at the end of the day, I had already been working in this field for a long time, especially in post-production and video editing. I graduated as an assistant director and I chose to work on my own as a freelancer. And it was one of the best decisions I've ever made in my life. I mean, working from home has helped me a lot because it allows me to stay close to the hobbies I love, like playing League of Legends and start a new YouTube channel with ease. It does have some downsides though. For example, I sleep in the same place where I work, and that is a bigger deal than you might think. At first, I didn't realize how frustrating it could be to spend most of my day in the same exact place. Even though I've gotten used to it, I still need to go outside at least twice a day just to feel comfortable, creative, and healthy. I'm the type of person who hates staying in the same place for too long. I remember one time when I had to wait in an empty, silent room. When my friend finally arrived, he found me asleep. I literally can't sit around doing nothing for very long. The same thing happens when I'm watching a movie that's more than 2 hours long. I get so sleepy and bored that I can't keep sitting there and watching. I'm a special case, I know. So yeah, this is me, Spyfish. I originally chose this name as a gaming tag. The first time I came up with it was more than 11 years ago, around the time Clash Royale came out. For those who don't know it, it was an amazing mobile strategy game where you place cards in an arena and your troops interact in different ways. The objective is to destroy the King Tower, kind of how you destroy the Nexus in League of Legends. So it kind of has the same vibe, you know. It's still, to this day, even though they changed it a lot, it's still a good game. Fun fact, I was also starting to think about trying League around that time. So I named myself Spyfish on that game, simply because I thought it sounded cool, especially with the name Fish in it. And the name just stuck with me till this day. I remember watching a lot of professional Clash Royale gameplay while practicing both my gameplay and my commentary at the same time. I always dreamed of creating a YouTube channel where I would commentate over gameplay and share my thoughts. Spoiler alert, I never ended up doing that. What I did end up doing instead was starting to play League of Legends. And I got completely addicted to the game. I started playing in Season 5. Back then, I used to hate League a lot. I was totally disgusted by the people who played that game. I only played exciting, thrilling video games like horror, adventure, and open world games like Grand Theft Auto. Until one day, one of my close friends was casually playing it. I mean League. At that moment, my brain went boom. In my head, people who played League were completely different species. I thought League players were just nerds sitting on their computers for hours non-stop playing this top-down camera game. So I was totally shocked at that time. How is my friend playing that? That didn't make any sense to me. Eventually, I started getting curious. What was so good about this game that people played it so much? So one day he invited me to play a normal game with his friends. We were a 5-stack team and I jumped right in. I installed the game, created an account with Spyfish as my summoner name, accepted the invite, and suddenly found myself on Summoner's Rift with 4 other players. And I think I played Nar as my first champion. Bruh, that was the most embarrassing experience of my life. I could hear my friends laughing at all my mistakes in the background. It was the kind of laugh that starts getting annoying after a while. I mean, I get it, they're just having fun, you know, but it still made me feel so awkward. I didn't know the keys, my camera was flying all over the place, and I was trying to learn step by step. One of my friends, I remember, he told me, click the little camera icon to lock it. And I had no idea what the fuck is he talking about. So yeah, I did that. Now what? I was in bot lane with my friend and he told me to go into the bush. I went into the bush and then he started explaining all the complicated stuff and I got even more overwhelmed, bruh. I remember like he was explaining, when you're in the bush, enemies can't see you. Alright, understood the mission, okay. So I walked right into the bush, started clicking on minions, and suddenly the enemies started attacking me. And there goes my first death in League. I was so confused, bro, I thought they can't see me. Then he kept giving me these long instructions, like I'm gonna build a rocket or something. It was like rocket science, for real. He was like, don't attack from the bush or they'll see you. Scale shots, however, are completely fine. Just don't right-click enemies. Okay, you're the support. Don't take minions. Don't go in 1v2. Use wards. Wait, wards. What's a ward again? Bruh. He was like, it's something you place so you can see people in the bushes. Oh, that's cool. That's what I said at the time, but honestly, I had no idea what any of that meant. Bro, the whole fog of war concept in League was so hard for me to understand. I'm not even joking with you. I used to place wards only inside bushes, because in my head, vision was either the most overrated thing ever or completely useless. I have so many good memories from League, but the funniest thing of all was dying like 10 times to towers. Tower aggro, oh my god. That's another concept that was impossible for me to understand because I never played games like these before. I had zero knowledge about like mostly everything. I would hit the tower, everything seemed fine, and then suddenly it started attacking me. I'd be like, what the hell? My friend would say, back off when there are no minions around. I'd be like, fine. So I waited for minions. Then I hit an enemy champion under tower. Guess what? The tower attacked me again. I died again. I was like, now what? Then he started laughing and said, yeah, you can't damage people under tower like that. It's funny how all these little things we struggled with back then became like second nature to us now. But I didn't give up. I kept learning slowly. Then eventually I quit. Well, not the game itself. No, hell no. I loved the game. I was addicted to it. I just stopped playing with friends, actually. Because I realized I could probably learn better on my own. That's when I started grinding game after game after game. I remember hitting level 30 in like 3 or 4 days. And what was the first thing I did after reaching level 30? Exactly. I jumped straight into ranked only to discover that I was absolutely not ready for ranked. I was terrible at the game and everyone felt way better than me. At the time, the worst rank in League was Bronze 4. And guess what my rank was? Exactly. But I never gave up. I kept playing, watching VODs on YouTube, watching pro play. Eventually, I finally hit silver. Then something happened that completely changed everything. One day I was watching pro play and the commentators suddenly started screaming. The ekko ult, something like that, I don't remember the exact words. The crowd was losing their minds. And then, absolute silence, nothing happened. I didn't realize it at the moment, I didn't understand a single word. At the time, Ekko was still a new release, so I didn't even know what he did there. I searched him up because I wanted to understand why the casters were freaking out. Then I realized what happened. Ekko's after image was moving through the jungle and the casters were anticipating him rewinding back in time to it with his ultimate. Bro, that was the coolest thing I had ever seen in a video game. Most champions back then felt boring and uncreative to me. None of them really interested me. So I instantly went to the League shop, bought Ekko, and I jumped straight up back into ranked. I almost never played normals, by the way. In my opinion, they were useless. And I kept playing until I demoted back to bronze again. Honestly, I never really cared about ranks that much. My biggest issue was my PC. That thing was a complete rusty toaster, bro. I swear a calculator probably had a better CPU than my computer, not gonna lie. But I still kept playing League on less than 30 FPS while trying to improve. It took a massive amount of time to understand every single champion in the game. Eventually, this student became the master. And now, I'm in the stage where I started teaching my other friends how to play too. And I've been playing ever since, from season 5 until today. Sometimes I only play a handful of games during a season, and other times I grind ranked the entire year. It really just depends on how much free time I have. So what else do I do? Honestly, I'm a multi-talented guy. I work full-time as a freelancer. Most of my work is related to editing videos and animation projects, especially 2D frame-by-frame animations, like my intro, for example, that was made by me. I can draw both traditionally and digitally, design graphics, play music, and even produce it, although I'm not that good at music production yet, to be honest. I've also developed many games over the years. At one point, I even worked on a dubbing project where we dubbed anime into another language beside Japanese. So yeah, I just love learning new skills all the time, especially if they help me create my own stuff. My favorite creations of all time are honestly my YouTube videos, my thumbnails, and everything related to content creation. I genuinely love what I do, and I hope one day I can do this full-time as well, because nothing is impossible. If you guys keep supporting me, we can grow this channel together and create some of the most entertaining content ever. At the end of the day though, I only have a few hours of free time to dedicate to this. Like, I can't invest every second of my life into it because of real life responsibilities and work. I can't just quit my job overnight, you know. But I'll always try to upload the highest quality content I possibly can, even if it takes me 2 months to release a single video. I want to entertain people while also teaching them something valuable at the same time. Because honestly, that's the entire reason I started all of this in the first place. I created this YouTube channel to share my experience with you guys. I grew up watching the OG content creators like Yasuo, Trick2G, Boxbox, Tobias Fate, Rat IRL, and many more. In my opinion, Yasuo was the king of entertaining league content. I remember waiting day and night for his videos to drop. I used to have so much fun watching his gameplay, even though I had no idea how to play Yasuo at the time, because he was basically a one-trick Yasuo player. So deep in the back of my mind, I always thought, who's playing my champion at a high level while also being entertaining to watch? And honestly, I felt like that person didn't exist. To be fair, there were maybe 1 or 2 people teaching ekko, but most of them focused on jungle, and personally, I didn't really enjoy watching them that much, even though they were doing an amazing job teaching the champion. So I always had this idea in my head that one day, when I got out of the lower ranks and became good enough, I could start posting gameplay that was actually decent to watch. But not just gameplay. I used to fantasize about creating playlists and series that were genuinely fun to watch. Something innovative, funny, well edited, high quality, something different, you know. Because literally nobody was doing it the way I imagined it. That's where the seed was planted in my mind until one day it finally turned into action. I had an old and used channel sitting there. I changed the name, built my own branding, designed my own logo, and launched the channel with my very first video, Ekko vs Azir Matchup Breakdown. That was the first episode of the matchup series, and that was about a year ago. At the time, I felt incredibly confident in lane. I was almost never losing lane, constantly getting first blood, completely suffocating my opponents, and every matchup started feeling easier than the previous one. I could even play against counters with no problem. My wave management, trading patterns, spacing, everything felt on point. So I thought, I have to share this with other people so they can improve too. Every matchup in mid lane is different, so I came up with this idea of creating a giant series covering every single matchup. And by the way, if you have no idea what I'm talking about, check out the matchup breakdown series because I'm genuinely proud of creating it. Also, one thing that people probably don't know is how much work goes into the thumbnails. I used to grab my tablet, search for reference pictures online, and hand draw every single detail of the characters myself. For me, it never felt like hard work. It was fun. It felt like watching my own baby grow over time. Every thumbnail on this channel is hand-drawn by me. Some people might think that's way too much work and I should just hire an artist. But honestly, this channel feels like my son. I want to raise it with my own hands. Even my stream setup is fully hand-drawn and designed by me. One thing that always triggers me is when people try advertising their stream overlays or AI-generated art to me. Like, bro, you can literally see that I already built everything myself from scratch, and it's fully custom and professional looking. Then they still ask me to buy their generated AI work. I don't know, it just feels disrespectful to me. So yeah, I probably won't be hiring editors or artists for this channel anytime soon. Everything you see is made by me, and honestly that's what makes this whole thing special to me. This channel was a fantasy in my head for years, and now that it finally exists, it actually means something. I'm genuinely treating this channel like a kid that keeps growing over time with care, effort, and love. My goal is to become the most entertaining ekko channel out there. You feel me? I want people to click on my videos and just relax for a while. Forget about their long, exhausting day and simply enjoy their time. Maybe even watch one of my videos right before queuing up for a game. I've received so many DMs from you guys telling me how useful the matchup breakdown series is, especially when you watch it during Champion Select before the game loads. And hearing that honestly made me really happy, because that's the whole point of this channel, educational and entertaining content. And the thing is, I don't need to be the best player in the world to entertain people. Don't get me wrong though, when the time comes, your favorite creator will reach those higher levels. Trust me, I know for a fact that if I hit Challenger, my audience will grow even more. So I'm going to do my absolute best to reach those ranks. I'm not trying to sound dramatic or anything like that. This is just me being honest with every single one of you watching right now. I'd like to talk more about myself. Remember, this whole Yap episode is about me. Don't forget that. I'm the type of person who gets bored insanely fast. So even though I love League of Legends, sometimes I randomly get moody and quit the game for a long time before coming back again. Another thing you guys might not know about me is that I really enjoy voice acting, and I've actually been doing voice acting for years. I love doing impressions of characters that I like. Wait, I think I already did something similar on this channel already, like for Victor. I run the clip.
Evolution as a destination, not to combat nature, but to supersede it. The final glorious evolution.
I don't really listen to music that much, but my favorite artist is Reales.
What? Hey, I can do my shit alone. Yeah, I said on my own, my own.
What I admire the most about him is how he does almost everything himself, from producing the music all the way to the final product. He's insanely creative and honestly really inspiring to me. You guys should definitely check him out. As for TV shows, I'm currently watching From. My favorite movie of all time is Inception. I've always had this dream of creating my own movie or anime someday and becoming a director myself, and honestly I totally could do it. I don't know if it's worth the insane amount of time and effort it would take. Animation is still super time consuming, but if you guys want, maybe I can share some of my animation work one day. Maybe I'll even make some ekko related animated stuff, who knows. One thing I do every single day though, drinking coffee. Bro, I drink so much coffee. 1 in the morning, 1 in the afternoon, sometimes even 3 coffees a day, especially when I'm hanging out with friends. I also like playing card games, billiards, and football. Honestly, I just like sports in general. And before anyone says it, no, I'm not doing faceless videos because I'm ugly. That's not true at all. I'm kinda handsome, not gonna lie. Since we're talking about sports, I also used to enjoy swimming a lot. I'm actually a pretty good swimmer. But the one thing my brain could never process was skating. Bruh, I genuinely could not learn how to skate. I tried, it's just not my thing, I guess. What else do I enjoy? Storytelling. Eating? And yeah, I also watch a bit of anime. Mostly the popular stuff like Death Note, Steins Gate, One Piece. I definitely haven't watched all of One Piece though, but I did watch the live action version and honestly, I was super impressed. Like bro, if you're into filmmaking and production stuff, the work they did there is just insane. The level of detail and effort behind it is so unbelievable. Also, my favorite anime is Hunter x Hunter. Alright, enough talking about me. let's talk about the future of the channel. I don't want to make huge promises for future videos, but what I can say is there's a lot of stuff coming very soon. The matchup breakdown series is making a huge comeback, and I can promise you one thing: the fun starts now. Expect more creative ideas, more entertaining content, and of course, quality over quantity. Always. There's still so much stuff I want to share with you guys, so stay tuned. And for those who don't know yet, I also have an Instagram account. Make sure to follow me there too, because we're planning to post new content there as well. And lastly, I want to thank every single one of you for the support. Without you guys, I probably could have stopped uploading a long time ago. I truly appreciate every like, every comment, and every message you've sent to me, honestly. Seriously, thank you. And once again, YouTube's algorithm thinks you might like this video, so make sure to give it a click. As always, thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one. Oh my god, I feel so thirsty.